I love this sweater, but I also think I kind of look like a balloon.
A balloon?
A balloon.
Oh, I don't see it. I like
the way it's shaped. Gives me balloon energy.
It very much doesn't for me. I like the sleeves because it kind of gives it like a feminine kind of cute, like with the ruffle at the top.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It gives it a little like, you know?
I look in the mirror and I'm like,
oh no.
You can see no curve in this.
I love that. Hello.
I love how our intro has just become you clapping and me immediately laughing.
Just giggling. All of our episodes start off, you're just dying. And
Every
I'm just like,
single one of them.
Clap.
There's not a single episode where I don't start with a laugh.
When we were at the gym the other day, there was like push-up claps. Not today, but a while ago, like the box push-ups with the claps. Were you there that day?
Yeah.
Kelsey was going around. She's like, yeah, I almost told someone to catch the clap. And then I realized, no, don't do that.
Were we working out together that day? We were, because I had to run. I was there. I was with you.
That was the day that Karen stayed after to show off her awesome push-ups.
But I had to run, because I had to go to work.
Right. Why didn't I have to?
You had the day off.
Oh, yeah, but I just left anyway, because I was tired.
Well, yeah, you left with me instead of staying. But yeah, no, that was the day, because it was like the clap box jump.
Yeah, that was hard.
It's fun. Working out, we're strong.
We're so strong. Anyway, hello. Welcome back.
Didn't see you there. How's it going?
Oh my goodness.
Smack on in.
We're filming. Oh. No. It's not like we have to get up to turn it on.
Is it like Tuesday or something?
Is it? Oh, it's Wednesday.
You dummy. When we release, it will be Tuesday.
You have to tell me.
Is it? I'm back.
It's been a long day, and I'm stupid.
This is sometimes Ciabatta slaps,
Which comes out on Tuesdays.
That is now a core memory. Speaking of core memories,
We're talking about core memories today. Oh dear.
that was phenomenal. That was good start.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, so we are going to talk about core memories because they're fun and very influential on who we are as people, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a hot topic too.
It is, especially after the movie Inside Out came out.
Yeah.
Even though, like, when researching this, it was kind of interesting how much they, like, talked about how much Inside Out got wrong about it, in a sense.
Well, memory formation or just emotions in general?
In memory formation.
Okay.
Like, emotion, they didn't really talk about that when I was researching it. It was mostly just, like, memories, how, like, a core memory isn't just this golden ball that stays perfect and was, like...
Oh, yeah.
You don't have, like, the islands that come from each core memory kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting to learn about. But I don't remember what they said they were actually like, so... Just kind of, they're just regular memories. But, like... What's a core memory, Michaela?
Can you tell my thinking face?
Yeah.
My dead silence and my, like, staring off into the distance?
It's okay, I'll cut it out. I'll just double it instead of cutting it out. I'll just put it longer.
You're welcome for the awkward silence. I'm trying to picture that scene and stuff. So it's not as, like, highlighted as you think, or as...
Well, because they have, like, in Inside Out,
Yeah.
the memories are all, like, different colors for the emotion that you felt when you had that memory. But the core memories are yellow. They're, like, golden memories. Mm-hmm. And so they're in a special spot, and they're just, like, your special core memories that make up who you are. So like in the movie, I think her name is it Piper or Riley? I think it's Riley. She was playing hockey with her dad or whatever, and that was her core memory. And so now she plays hockey, and that's who she is. And so then when she, like, loses her hockey core memory, she, like, loses that part of herself, and it kind of sends her into a spiral. But that's not so much how we actually experience core memories. Because, like, when I was trying to think of, like... Shoot. I was trying to think of like what a core memory is for me. There was no like 5 core memories that like made me who I am, that I can pick out facets of my personality that like relate back to that.
I fully can.
That's so interesting. Because like I can think of
your
one.
Your face is like, wow, good for you.
I'm so happy for you, Michaela. I can think of like one.
Yeah.
But I think I was that way before I even had that core memory, you know?
Well, instead of just dancing around, what is the memory? Like, let's just go in, let's just get into it.
So I was homeschooled except for grades 1, grade 4, and a month of grade 5. And so this was either in grade 4 or grade 5. And we were at this like camp. It was a field trip. And I brought my own lunch because that's just my family just sent me with my own lunch. It was shepherd's pie because I love shepherd's pie. But everyone else was buying lunch. And so I really wanted to buy something. And so I had taken money, and I don't know where I got the money from. So this could be why there was the issue in the first place. But I was like, I want to buy something. And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a Journ soda, because I know that I can have them because they're cane sugar. They're a healthy thing that like was allowed in my family. And so I made the educated decision, in quotations, to buy the Journ soda. But I kept the bottle cap, and I put the change back in my lunch kit. So when my mom was unpacking my lunch kit, she found those. And she was like, well, where did you get these? Like, why did you buy that? And she got really mad at me in my memory. Her memory's completely different. And so it really, like, it totally shaped, like, I think so much more before I make a purchase like that. Like, it was like, okay, I'm not allowed to buy things. And that same kind of memory happened quite a few times. But I think it was the dishonesty of not telling my mom that I had the money and that was my plan. I was just doing it, like, behind her back and hoping I didn't get caught. I think that's why I got in so much trouble. Yeah. But when I was talking with her about it a couple months ago, she was like, oh my goodness, that doesn't sound at all like something that I would get mad at you about. Like, that's so shocking that that's how you remember that, because that's a very well-educated decision. You really thought that through. You made, like, a good choice for a 4th grader. Like, you respected what we wanted for you, but still... like, got something fun. Yeah. And she, like, couldn't remember at all why she would have gotten mad at me about that, but it was such a core memory for me. It was, like, struck fear into me about how I wasn't allowed to do that or something.
So I wonder if there's something about tone then otherwise, because if she doesn't think that she would be mad, quote unquote. Yeah. But if she said something that then you interpreted as, oh, she's mad at me, and then emotions rise, and then that's why it ingrains. Yeah, because I don't remember her getting mad at me. I remember buying it and drinking it and sitting in the little place, eating my lunch and drinking my Journ soda, but it's with the connotation of, or like the emotion of, like, that was bad. Oh, so you did that before even going home. It was bad.
Like, I knew that I was going to get in trouble if they found out. Oh. And so it was like, oh, so like, I'm breaking the rules. Yeah. And then I did get in trouble. And I was like, shoot.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And that's, like, such a prominent...
And you don't think that shaped how you are, though?
Oh, no. I definitely... Like, I feel like... But if I was anticipating getting in trouble for it anyways, getting in trouble for that, I feel like hasn't...
So it was couldn't have. But it was a self-fulfilling prophecy then at that point.
Oh, yeah. I think that's just my whole life. But yeah, because I feel like I do that a lot of time. That's the same reason why, like, when I was a teenager, I wouldn't ask to do things because I was just afraid the answer was going to be no.
That's most
So
teenagers.
I would just make it no by not asking and not doing it.
Oh. I was like,
you know? Yeah, I know. That's why I had to clarify.
Oh, I just snuck out instead of not asking.
I was in the middle of nowhere.
And then told my parents when I was 18. When my sister was going through some stuff.
Yeah. No.
I distinctly remember my dad, like, we were driving in Winnipeg. My parents and my sister were fighting. My dad looks back and is like, have you done anything like this? And I said, oh yeah, I've done it all and more. But I'm like, what are you going to do? I'm 18. You can't stop me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, Marty's not living in the house.
Yeah. What you're 18, you're an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still not very much in that mindset.
You're 18 and an adult?
Yeah.
Or
well, then I'm like 22 and they're like, my parents can't ground me.
Well, I guess a positive of that because like then you'll be a good person, but otherwise.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm very good.
Timid.
Yeah. That's fine. Whatever. We don't talk about it.
So basically, yeah, the whole concept of like core memory is that it's something that is so influential on you as a person that you carry it through like the rest of your life. And so it can be as simple as getting like the skateboard at Christmas that inspired you to be a professional skateboarder or whatever.
Yeah.
Or watching Tony, it was a Tony Hawk and you love Tony Hawk now and he promote like whatever, all that. But the biggest thing that makes it a core memory versus like a memory is the emotion attached to it. The higher the emotion, the more it gets ingrained. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of fears, so to speak, could be classified as core memories. Talking about a fear core memory.
Oh yeah, I have one too.
Should we just go through each one? Let's just go through each emotion. A fear core memory for me was, so in first grade, my lovely teacher, she was a great woman. Yeah. But she had this fun idea for Halloween to give 2 book options. So the kids got to choose if they wanted the happy book and they're going to the gym to read the happy book, or you stay in the classroom if you want like the spooky book. 6-year-old Michaela chose the spooky book. I'm always secretly a spooky bitch at heart.
100%.
I love horror movies and stuff now. But so she's reading this book and it's called Tailypo. And anyone who's read Tailypo, not many people have, which is like concerning.
Yeah, because I've never heard of it until Michaela had told me about it.
Every time I talk about it, it was such like a core piece of who I was until I was like, shit you not, 16.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And so what was it then that was like made you realize? Or like,
oh, it was just like the demon possessing my house. Tune into episode our pumpkin carving spooky story one. Yeah, no. Tailypo no longer scared me because like the little demon boy beside my bed scared me more.
No kidding. No kidding. That visual terrified me.
So anyway, she's reading Tailypo and basically the premise of the story is this like cat-like creature ripping this stomach out of this man in the woods because it ate its tail. So it was trying to hunt before winter. And so the cat not only... And you're reading this to 6-year-olds.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I was like, why is this allowed?
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely don't know. Small towns are wild.
100%.
And... yeah, so it's like this man's hunting this cat in the winter so he can eat, so he can survive winter. It's him and his 3 dogs in this middle of the woods cabin. And the cat comes back for revenge. So it kills each dog one by one.
Oh my goodness.
And then breaks into this man's house when he's sleeping, rips his stomach open and says, Tailypo, Tailypo, I've got my Tailypo.
I hate that so much.
So I had nightmares for
goodness.
years after that.
No
I wouldn't put my
kidding.
feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, and this carried through, like, the 2 distinct memories from this fear of mine is the nightmare that I had at home a few days later of Tailypo above my bed jumping on me.
Yikes. Okay, valid. Mm-hmm.
And then when I had then now moved to Alberta, I was waiting in the car for my mom And I was sitting in the car. I was the only one there. The garage door was shut or whatnot. We were ready, getting prepping to leave.
Yeah.
And my feet were on the ground. I was looking around. And then suddenly I had the urge, I needed to put my feet up. And so I would sit on every seat with my knees to my chin.
Yikes.
Because I was so afraid that Talipo, specifically, was going to reach under the seat and scratch my ankle.
I don't like this.
But part of that also probably comes from when I was a kid. My dad is this fun prank thing, would hide underneath our beds while we were brushing our teeth and grab our ankles as we went into bed.
So mean.
So between that and then now Talipo and combining the two,
yeah,
I never walked close to a bed to get into bed.
Yeah.
I creatively, strategically and creatively placed my room around or had items in my room that I could poke my light with while I was already on the bed.
Oh my goodness.
So I would never walk onto my bed when it was dark because something was going to grab or scratch my ankles.
Yikes.
And so this is also kind of like point 2 on with memory is that it is fragile. So every time it recalls, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go back the same way. So there are other influences that can then shape said memory.
Yeah.
And so I combined both, like my dad, something fun, lighthearted or whatnot that was like funny, goofy, giggly. It wasn't actually terrifying, like as a kid.
At that time,
it was startling.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrifying.
Yeah.
And then mixed it up with this like scary creature Talipo thing, which is like, it just looks like a black static with green eyes. Like that was the imagery in it.
Yeah. We'll see if we can find a photo of the book and then we can like put it on Instagram or something so that everyone else can have a visual as well.
Yeah. You can see if I find a photo. You literally Google Talipo and it's there. Yeah. I can picture the man. I can see his 3 dogs. I can see the cabin in the woods. I can see the bird's eye view of the said woods when it's like Talipo, Talipo. I've got my Talipo. Like I have this book to a fucking T in my brain.
It's just ingrained.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And also, side note, I'm talking about grade 1. That's also when I the whole like what's black and white and red all over. What is it?
Isn't the right answer like a newspaper?
No, it's a zebra with a sunburn journey.
Oh, LOL.
I thought it was a newspaper too.
But because that's also the answer. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's a both.
Okay.
In first grade, this guy in my class was like, no, it's a zebra. I'm like, okay.
Well, technically, you're not wrong.
Sounds great.
What's the frog in the blender one?
Pardon? What?
There's like, it's kind of like the black and white and red all over, but it's a frog in a blender.
It's like, what sound does it make?
No, it's like, what's green and spins really fast or something? A frog in a blender. I don't know. I don't know. Bryce knows. I don't know. I'll figure that out so I can put it at least in the description so I'm not just leaving you guys hanging.
I've never heard that one before.
Oh, no. It's just messed up. That's a small town for you.
No, so that's my, like, fear brace core memory that has then moshed into 2, which I didn't get over. Well, the Talipo thing kind of got over it around 16.
Yeah.
The walking up to the bed when it's dark out, maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, that's fair. I was trying to like sleep with my hand just like out to try and get Mia to come so I could touch her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I can't do this. Because what if someone just like reaches up and just like holds my hand?
Oh,
like I would freak out.
Foot outside of the covers over the bed to this day still. Mm-hmm. No fucking way. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, no, I still am like so afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thank you.
Fun stuff.
My fear core memory is so scary.
I'm excited.
I think I've told you this before, but it was when my mom took me to a reptile show, not realizing that I'm absolutely terrified of snakes. Like, it's past phobia. Like, it is so bad.
It's like a heart attack stopping your tracks.
Like, bad. I will go into a panic attack if I think about just, like, coming across a snake too hard.
See, I have an aversion to snakes, but I'm not, like, panicked.
I am afraid because of this situation. And so, because we were homeschooled, so you had to go do like reptile shows and stuff to get your like science credits, or just for fun, because that's when the homeschooled kids got socialized.
Points tracker. Every time I laugh at the beginning of the episode, and every time we bring up that Journey was homeschooled.
Well, it's a big part. It's a core memory. So yeah, it's like in the bottom of like a rec center, or basement, I mean, not bottom.
Is that the base of a rec center?
It's like the bottom of a building. Also the basement. So it's in the basement, so you had to go down these stairs, and it's in this long like rectangular room, and there was 2 rows of the really uncomfortable plastic chairs. They were really good to like pop your back on. But like
the kids' chairs, like the blue ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then there's like 2 rows of like 8 here with a little aisle in between.
Sure.
Anyway, not important, but there. And so there was 1 seat open in the front, and there was enough in the back for like my brother and sister and my mom to sit in. So they sat in the back, and then I sat in the front all by myself right on the edge of the aisle. And so the person with the snakes was just standing in front of me and was just like having them like all over her, and she was just like, yeah, so like this is a blah 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 whatever kind of snake, and this is a blah 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 whatever kind of snake. And then she let them just like slither around on the I'm freaking out. And she let them like slither around. She put it down on the ground behind me, like, and just let it like slither around. So I was sitting on the chair, just like I was like this. I was like
knees to chin,
nope, like
same
like,
way I sat
hidden. And I was in a sweater, and so then I can't put my feet on the ground yet. So then she like had a different kind of snake, and she was like walking around. She's like, oh, like this is a really friendly snake. Like, do you want to touch it? And I was like, no, I don't want to touch it. Thank you so much for the offer. I was like, no. And so she's like, are you sure? And like brought it closer. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. And then she's like, no, like touch it. And I was like, okay. So I like pulled my arm way back in my sweater, and I just like ran the bottom of my sweater along the snake. It was so scary. My mom was like, and that was the moment that I knew that you were actually afraid of them, and I felt so bad. I was like, it was not nice for
As
me.
you should.
Yeah, and so then it ends, and I've blocked most of that out because it was so scary. Mm-hmm. And then my mom must have gotten roped into a conversation with some of the homeschool moms or something. So we like had to just stand around and wait for another half an hour. And so I was like by the stairs, like trying to get out of that room as fast as I could. I was like, Mom, let's go. She was just like talking to people. I was like, please, I want to leave so bad. So yeah.
Well, so that's why it's probably so ingrained then, is because you just had to relive it and relive it and relive it.
I've thought about that day so many times. Like, I've blocked the snakes out, but I can, like, remember. And it's so scary.
See, I'm I guess, quote unquote, afraid of snakes, but it's not a phobia by any means. Yeah. I just don't like the idea, like, there's that video of venom turning blood into jelly.
Ew, yeah.
And I visualize that in the body, and I'm like, wow, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And then I also don't like the idea that, like, people who have like pet boa snakes and like, oh yeah, I just like stopped eating, and then you're just like sleeping with me, and it was like it's sizing you up to swallow you whole. Like, I've watched a boa snake eat an entire deer whole.
No,
and like, just like, that's what scares me about snakes, is like,
yeah.
But and the fact that I had garter snakes in my bedroom as a kid.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
My mom had to we had a family of garter snakes living in our house, and one of them actually like snuck its way, like ate through the wall or something in my closet. There was a hole in the wall in my closet, basically. And I was young, like my mom was still at the point of like picking my clothes out for school, kind of young.
So this is not in Alberta?
No, this is yeah,
good stuff,
in Manitoba.
Okay.
And so it like crawled through the wall. There was a hole. I remember seeing the hole, but I didn't.
You were young. You weren't going to be like, oh, snakes live in my walls.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom went to like open the doors of my walk-in closet there, and there's just like a snake curled up on the floor. And she looks at it, and it looks at her, and it bolts to the wall, and she's like, she was like, what the fuck is in my kid's room? And long story short, my dad spray foamed the hole in the wall. I remember that too. That's like such a visual in my mind too. And turns out we had a family of garter snakes living underneath our our back porch, step, and they would slither like along the house. Because it was like, I don't know, an older house, so the foundation wasn't fantastic. Yeah. And the water in Manitoba, like the ground and stuff, we were right by a river. It's so like marshy. Yeah. So that it's just like, it shifts a lot and doesn't help, and you know.
Yeah. It's perfect snake.
Like, they managed to tunnel their way underneath our front cement or our back cement step, and then there was a family of them there. Yikes. And so my mom then spent like I'm trying to think of how old I would have been, because I was too young. It's not relevant anyway. I was too young to not dress myself. Yeah. But my mom was doing this right up until we moved. Like, she would be catching snakes before we'd have like house showings. And I was 9 when we moved. But I thought I'd be dressing myself at 9, like 8 and 9.
Well, maybe she was like picking out an outfit for like a special day or something, like a wedding or something. She was like, you should wear this dress.
No, it was definitely for school, but anyway.
Okay. Well, I forgot that part.
That's besides the fact. But my mom basically spent the next however many months, years possibly, catching garter snakes.
Oh my goodness.
She would open up the back door, and there would be like 50 of them laying on the grass, sunbathing.
That's so
And they would
many.
all scatter towards the front. Like, there was a family of them. You would have shit your pants during.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would have either burnt the house down or moved immediately. I would have been like, Bryce, you can deal with that. I will not be home ever. This house is dead to me. Good luck. Like, bye.
No, my mom had to catch, and so I used to find it fun. Like, I didn't like the snakes themselves, but I loved their skin. And so I used to wear
fair.
like,
when they would molt is kind of fun.
I used to wear like snake skin around my neck and call myself Cleopatra.
That's so
Why
creepy.
Cleopatra? I don't know.
That's so weird.
I'd wear like a scarf, and I'd bring it into show and tell.
Oh my goodness.
And there's this like memory of my mom. She caught a pregnant garter snake, and let me tell you, those things were feisty. Because she just put them in Rubbermaid bins.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
And so I was with her for that one. We drove with her for getting rid of this, or driving away this pregnant garter snake. And just in the backseat of the van, you could hear thud, thud, thud. This mom was throwing herself against the Rubbermaid bin trying to get out. And then my mom carried her out, tipped the bin sideways, kind of pulled the lid off, and like ran backwards. Yeah. And we watched the snake crawl up the side of the bin and just like look. Ew. And then turn around and slither away. She was fiery.
I hope you guys know, I'm gonna have so many nightmares tonight. Okay. That's so scary. I hate that. My sister stepped on a snake at school a couple weeks ago.
My dad got bit by a snake in Australia.
That's where all the scary ones are.
Yeah, he had to go to the hospital.
Was it poisonous?
Uh-huh.
Yikes.
He was young. He had to go, like, I can't remember if someone had to suck venom out of him, like, at the site.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me this.
Or if they just made it to the hospital in time, but, like, yeah, they were on a hike and he got bit by a snake on a log.
A bump on a log.
But he was, like, young, because he did first grade in Australia.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was picturing, like, 18, kind of, like, going to Australia for fun.
No, like little childhood. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really scary.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pick a different topic.
Which emotion next?
Not fear.
Okay, what's something that you think has shaped your personality then? Something that's happened to you that you held for a while or still hold.
It's a very positive memory. We used to have naps every day, all the time, and so we were in the Burgundy house in Bentley, and I was in my yellow bedroom. That's a core memory for me. Yellow walls in every house. I hated it.
I liked my yellow walls, but
oh my goodness, no.
It.
I was so excited when we moved to the farm and I could paint my room not yellow. And so this whole room is just a core memory for me. And so I was just like...
Sidetrack. Did you paint it blue?
Yeah. Blue and 2 different shades of blue and then purple and green.
Okay, that's so funny. My bedroom, my childhood bedroom was yellow.
Yeah.
We moved to Alberta.
Yeah.
The first color I painted my bedroom was blue.
Oh my god.
And then purple.
Yep.
And then red.
Oh.
And now taupe.
Yeah.
Besides the fact, okay.
No, it's like, because we moved when that like teal and like a darker blue and then the lime green and the purple were all the colors of everything.
That was my sister's bedroom.
Yeah, so that was my bedroom.
And I had robin egg blue.
Oh, I love robin's egg blue.
And I had a zebra, like a blue and black zebra bed sheet.
Oh, okay, I was kind of similar, but it was circles and it had lime green and purple in it as well. It was from Walmart. We still have it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in the Burgundy house in my yellow bedroom, and it was nap time, and so I was supposed to be sleeping, but I wasn't tired. So I was reading this like Disney Mickey Mouse book.
Okay.
And my mom caught me, and I thought I was gonna get in so much trouble because I wasn't napping. And she was like, "Oh, you're just reading," and I was like, "Yeah." Like I wasn't tired. I didn't want to. And she's like, "Oh, okay. Like just be quiet. You're good to go." And I was like, oh my goodness. So then I thought that was a get out of jail free card. And so every nap time I would just be like reading. I'm like, no, it's okay. And then mom would be like, no, you actually have to sleep. Yeah. And so I think that really influenced me because now I think if I just say what I'm doing, I'll just get out a free card and there's like no consequences. So I kind of like, I feel like it made me feel like I'm more special and like I'll just never get in trouble for anything.
That's funny that that's what you turned it, like, being honest into, though.
I know.
Instead of just being like, oh, I was just, like, upfront and she wasn't mad. Yeah. You just didn't turn it into, like
a whole facet of my personality. That's where my people-pleasing comes from. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, I don't know, I'm just reading. I'm not tired at all.
That's fun.
I know. And so then I hated naps from that day forward.
I mean, I hated naps, too.
Yeah.
I did this fun thing as a kid. There's no way my parents didn't know this fucking happening. Like, they totally just let it slide. Yeah. So I had this, like, personality trait when I was a kid where I just couldn't walk in my house. I had to roller skate everywhere. Oh, yeah. I got a pair of roller skates from Valley Village and they were just the shit. Yeah. There's, like, Christmas photos of me standing in pajamas with roller skates on because I had them beside my bed. And I refused to go outside because the gravel road sucked. Oh,
yeah, especially with rollerblades. Yeah.
So when you have a bungalow with hardwood floors, you zoom from one side to the other.
Yes, you do.
And so I have this memory. I did the same thing. Like when I didn't want to sleep, I would go to the study and I would like read. Yeah. And so I put on, I had them beside my bed. I would literally put them on. My parents were watching TV at night. I'm supposed to be asleep. My sister's like in her room, I'm assuming asleep. Yeah. And I'm like wheels on, hunched down, using my fingers to move myself from my bedroom, which is on the one end of the house, past my parents.
Gotta be so loud.
Into the study. And so it's just like this like quiet wheel like rolling on the hardwood. And I'm just going like when you're breathing so light as a kid.
You're like trying to hold your breath, but you're running out of oxygen, so you gotta do the
yeah. Exactly. And right past my parents, right beside the couch. There's no way they didn't know, but they just like let it happen. My dad walks into the study and is like, you gotta go to bed. So I take my wheels, I crouch and I finger walk myself back to my bedroom.
I love that. Oh my goodness. No, I think that really influenced how much I like reading. Yeah. As well. Because I always have been reading ever since I was like 2. Okay. Always had a book in my hand. We have a video of when Graylin was born. I was sitting on the couch with my like Dick and Jane book. Mm-hmm. And I was like reading it. And I was just like sitting on the couch. And Dad's like, are you excited for your little brother? And I'm like, mm-hmm. But I was
with
like,
the book in hand.
Yeah, I was just like reading. I was like, can you please stop interrupting me? Like, I'm trying to read here.
Oh, no, but I was 2. I was like admiring. Oh, I was 2 too. When my sister, when my sister was born, and there's a video of me. I'm just like leaning against like the carrier that she was in, and I'm like, baby Annika, and I was just so stoked to have a sister.
That's sweet. That made me remind. That
made me remind.
That that made that made me remember where my sensory issues came from.
Okay.
So we were all home births. And so when my brother was born, I was so excited to have a baby brother that I just ran and jumped into like the birthing pool with him. And my mom is so gross looking back on it. But I was like, yay. And I just like gave him a big, like I was just like on him, like touching him and just like so excited. But he was so slimy. And just disgusting because a fresh baby is not nice. Yeah. So I think that's where my sensory issues come from.
That could be fun. Yeah, I could see that.
Because that was like...
Well, because it'd be emotionally jarring.
Yeah, it was like, because I was so excited. And then it was just like shot down because he was so gross.
That's fair.
Yeah.
My like little anger issues came from a few other things. So in first grade, there was this girl who had the same name as me. Different spelling, but same name.
Yeah.
And long story short, she invited everyone to her birthday party except for me. And I was like so hurt by it.
Fair enough.
Because her mom would babysit us and stuff too. And so I would hang out with her all the time, and then I just wasn't invited to her birthday party.
Yeah, rude.
And so that like threw me for a little spin there. I was like, that's fun. And so like being excluded, I think that was like, that became a big personality point. Yeah. And there's like times all along my life.
Yeah.
I was gonna say upbringing, but like even to this day.
Yeah.
Or even if, like now if I like my FOMO.
Yeah.
Is huge because of that. Because I've like been excluded, or I've been targeted just for existing.
Right.
Like, people don't like me. I walk into a room and people don't like me. I have 5 friends, 2 of which were close friends, who openly admitted they hated me the minute I walked into the room.
Right.
And I'm like, why? And it's like, I just existed.
Even, like, we were both shy of each other.
Standoffish. It's not shy. I was not like shy about you, but I was like, oh, she got a stick up her ass.
And I was like, oh, she's one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah. We just both like were standoffish with each other. Yeah. And then we started talking.
And then we realized, oh my gosh, we're the same person.
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
But no, and so I've had like things like that, or that's other girl who basically I'm in like 2nd or 3rd grade for this one.
Yeah.
I'm at recess, I'm playing, I get called in by the principal, and in this little doorway of like the school, like, you know, like before you go outside or whatever, the little in between doorway.
Yeah.
There's the principal, my mom, this girl, and her mom, and they're like all staring at me, and they're all very stern and serious.
Yeah.
And they're like, Michaela, you need to be honest. And I'm like, yeah, what? Why take me away from recess?
Yeah.
I was having fun with my brat dolls. Thank you very much. And they're like, did you call so-and-so an elephant? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And my mom, so mad. She was like ready to rail me. She was like, I am taking your ass down. She had no faith in her daughter.
Yeah.
For not calling this girl an elephant.
Oh my goodness.
And all I did was I looked at everyone. I looked at my mom, and I was like, I was homesick that day.
Yeah.
And my mom's face immediately was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, she was. And there have been like instances like that along the way where I'm just like not liked for no reason, and then not believed for no reason.
That's so crazy.
Like when I was first allergic to shellfish, my mom's like, no, you had too much sugar. And I'm like, I'm very allergic to shrimp.
Yeah.
But no, I had too much sugar, and that's why I was throwing up immediately after consuming it. That's why my tongue was itchy.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
And then in the East Coast, I had lobster. Same reaction. But no, I'm not allergic.
No, couldn't be.
No.
That would never be. Mm-mm. Okay, so I have a question for you then.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the answer to this, but like, is there a difference between like favorite memories and core memories? Because I feel like they're like, I had a hard time separating.
I think I think there is a slight one. I mean, I guess it could be a combo, right? But I think a favorite memory often brings you joy or is like fun to look back on or is comforting.
Yeah, it's just like a different emotion, kind of.
Yeah, whereas like a core memory, I think, then shapes how you go about in the world in some way. Right. So a fear, like you will never go near another snake.
Nope.
Right? Mm-mm. So that's going to shape how you go about in the world.
Right.
But, I don't know, you getting Mia.
Yeah.
It's not going to shape how you go about in the world.
No, but it's
going to be a favorite memory that you hold comforting.
That makes sense.
Like, my roller skates doesn't shape how I was about in the world.
You don't still roller skate.
But I still think it's funny to look back on that I did everything in my house on roller skates.
Yeah.
Because I would not walk.
I love that. You're like the opposite.
I went down the stairs in roller skates, Journey.
Like, did you like butt scooch or did you like actually just like jump?
Like,
like step sideways. Okay, that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I had a dingy basement. That's my basement. Up my fears of basements. Because we had this like really small...
In the garter snake house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had this really wicked crawl space in the basement.
Yeah.
And by wicked, I mean absolutely terrifying. And so I have memories of like watching my dad and his buddies like set up the pool table down there with my Black Eyed Peas Discman, like headphones in, listening to like... is it Monkey Business, the Blue album?
Oh, I don't know.
It's not Elefunk. I think it... Or is Monkey Business the red and then Elefunk is the blue? Either way. Yeah. Listening to like Where is the Love on my Discman, sitting on the steps, looking at my dad and his friends like saying up this.
I love that.
And then looking at the crawl space and being like, no ma'am.
Really?
Back upstairs.
That's so cool.
And so I've had like an aversion to basements.
Yeah.
Since then. Like I would never have my bedroom in a basement ever.
My bedroom's always been in the basement.
No thank you.
I loved it.
I need like a story of space in between me and the ground.
Oh, interesting. See, like my bedroom's always been in the basement, but when I like picture living in a house as an adult, I want a basement as a play area for kids, but I want all of the living spaces to be main floor and upstairs because I'm never going to use the basement. I'm never going to go downstairs. Yeah. Not because I'm afraid. I just don't feel like I would use that space. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just... Because I was like, okay, is this just a fun story that I want to tell? Or is it something that actually shaped who I am?
No, I think that's like a favorite memory. Yeah. Less than a core, right? Like, I mean, so even my like book story. Yeah. It doesn't shape who I am. I just think it's funny to like reflect on.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
And so I guess, yeah, even your just like... favorite memories can be like there's no set definition to what a core memory is or isn't really.
I didn't actually look at that.
I think I did and it was very difficult.
Let's see. What's the University of Google say?
What came up when you Googled that?
Magnetic core memory was the predominant form of random access computer memory for 20 years between 1955 and 1975.
Why is computers the first things that come up? I guess like core.
On Urban Dictionary, a core memory is a reference from the Pixar film Inside Out.
Because I feel like it wasn't really a term until Inside Out kind of like brought it to light.
Core memories are created when a person experiences a certain event that defines one of their behavioral traits.
Oh, spicy.
It's Riley.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of the girl. Something pure that you remember until the end of your days. When you think of it, you get a special kind of happiness. They are
fear.
Often made accidental, and that's why it makes it so beautiful.
Oh, that's adorable. Because I feel like all of my like core memories are from when I was just little. Like I feel like I don't have many like core memories. Like I feel like
as an adult,
because I feel like enough time hasn't passed for them to be thought of as core memories.
No, ma'am. I held the core memory like when I stopped being afraid of being alone. Yeah. In Bali. That's a core memory for me.
Very influential.
When I stared at the door of the restaurant, I was like totally cool.
Okay.
That is a core memory because that then shaped how I carry myself now.
Right.
Because otherwise I was it's not really vain. A lot more like you. I was a lot more afraid and I was a lot more anxious.
Yeah.
And I came out in ways and whatnot. But now I am like so secure in being alone.
Yeah.
That like Taily Po doesn't bug me. Right?
Yeah.
I can go to my cabin and I can be cool. I'm always a bit paranoid because like I don't trust people.
Yeah.
But I love my own company and I'm able to entertain myself for like hours.
Right.
Days.
Yeah.
Shit, I could probably go a month on my own. I'd be totally cool with it.
Wow. It's not that I'm not okay with being alone. It's just that I get bored.
I create things.
I know, but I have to like get to a certain level of boredom in order to create things.
Like when I just wanted to like be so away from people, I went to my cabin, and at the cabin, not everything is like up to par, right? Things aren't nice and shiny and new. And so there was this like axe that I went to chop wood with because it got cold. And there's this like mechanism my grandpa set up on this tree stump where you just like lift this weight and it just drops.
Oh,
or there's
cool.
this axe that you swing.
Yeah.
But the head wasn't glued onto the handle.
Oh no.
And so I was like, I'm not touching that thing.
Yeah, okay.
And so I spent like 2 hours chopping wood with this like weight thing.
Oh my goodness.
Because I hit a knot and so it wouldn't chop. And so I then entertained myself for hours trying to chop the stupid knot thing because now I couldn't get it off of the weight axe. There's the log on the bottom. Like, I can't break this apart by it, so I need to get it off. Yeah. And so, entertain myself for hours is no issue.
Yeah.
Or I'll, like, hyper focus on, like, a piece of art.
Yeah.
Or something. Or organizing something.
Yeah.
Heck, I even, like, brought out the old, like... So our VHS player broke in, like, the big TV, like, the main TV area. Mm-hmm. And so I went searching for, like, the small little, like... box TV that makes like a loud like staticky noise when it's on.
I hear it.
You can like feel it on your face, like the static.
Yeah, you like go to touch the screen and it'd feel funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I watched VHS tapes on that TV in the living room upstairs, and it was Yeah. That's a Yeah. I don't even know where that came from, but
just being alone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, another question I have for you is, can dreams be core memories?
See, that's funny though, because I think dreams can be influential, right? Such as the Taily Po memory.
Yeah.
But I don't think dreams necessarily, like, what you dream isn't, it's always an interpretation or a creation of something you've already, like, experienced.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you have a dream of a stranger kidnapping you, right? Mm-hmm. The person you dream of who's kidnapping you, you've seen that face before. Or parts
you can't
of a face,
create a face.
Yeah. Like, you've created, you can maybe mix parts and stuff, but, like...
Yeah.
You've seen this thing in real life before, and for whatever reason, your subconscious has latched onto it, and now it's bringing it out in dreams.
Yeah.
And I think dreams can be really eye-opening, like when you actually pay attention to it. Like if you're going through a crisis in life, there's a lot that your like dreams can tell you and help you out with.
Yeah, we should actually do a dream episode. That would be really interesting.
Oh, fully.
Yeah.
And I would like to have like a specialist or whatever of sorts
that would be so cool.
Like someone who is studying, because there's not any solid evidence on dreams. Like it's a big question in psychology and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can't really gauge it. Right? Yeah, everything is different.
Yeah.
But I have so many like vivid deja vu dreams.
Yeah.
But before I even meet people.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird because like, well, even at like where we work now, I was working with you and I said, I'm like, oh yeah, I dreamt this already.
Yeah.
It was so small. It was like me looking out a window and the deer walking across at the same time.
Yeah. And it was me standing somewhere very specific too. Because I remember you telling me this.
I'm like, you're there. I look here. I dreamt this like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I think there's like, but exactly, if I dreamt it though, I already know where I am and I already know what can happen.
Yeah. And like, yeah, you met me at that point. So it's like just making a scenario in a place where it's like likely to happen.
But I guess that's a whole separate issue from what you asked though. But I think things like that, like, because I dreamt that and I recognized that I dreamt that months before it happened.
Yeah.
I then have interpreted it as like, oh, I'm on the right path. And so for me, it's kind of core. Yeah. Because every time that happens, I know I'm on the right path.
Right.
But is that my own interpretation, or is that the dream itself? That's the issue.
Or is it something completely different?
Yeah.
Like, is it deja vu? Is it someone actually speaking to you versus just like a regular old dream kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think dreams can like exaggerate core memories and transform them. Like, again, the whole memory being like very fragile.
Yeah.
Perception as a whole is really fragile.
Yeah.
But the back and forth, I think it's like the combo of that engraving that gets reacted. That's not right. Reenacted. Activated. Reactivated.
I don't know.
What am I trying to say? Anyways, it gets activated again while you're dreaming. But it'd be actually interesting to see on like MRI scans if your memory, if like your hippocampus and amygdala and all that, if it is actually active while you're dreaming.
Oh, that would be very interesting.
Remember. We talked about it very briefly in studies, but like in an educational facility, you can't really talk about a theory all that much. Definitely. You kind of need so it'd be interesting to see scans on dream and dream work as a whole. Yeah,
because I asked because like I have this nightmare that I've had multiple times that I remember so vividly that stuck with me since I was little.
And I've had a couple of those.
And so I'm like, it's one of my clearest like memories.
So what is it? Let's try to break it down.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to do that.
Well, no, I say okay like that because it's so wild.
Almost are. One of my recurring dreams is me and my cousin in hamster balls in her house getting chased by a madman.
Okay.
Why are we in hamster balls?
Just you wait, Michaela.
Yeah.
So it starts off with a group of like men who are like my dad's friends, but not really.
Yeah.
And so they're all standing around this giant old like lazy boy chair that's like one of the like fabric ones.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like on like a rubbish pile. And so the person like gets on the chair and they get like exploded or like shot up into the air or whatever. And so then they're like, oh my goodness, it's Journey's turn. But if I do it, I die.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid to go on the chair and get exploded. So I run away. And so I'm running down in the ditch down this gravel road and I come across this little like cute little like camper trailer. Shoot. So I come across this cute little camper trailer and it turns into like an ice cream truck side. So there's like a visor or like an awning thing that like comes up. So there's like a window there. And so I stick my hand in because all of a sudden I'm wearing these mittens and I need to go to this trailer to get my running shoes so I can run faster. And so I'm wearing this mitten with like a snap on the end of it. It's one of those ones that you can like take off and it's like a mitten and then you put it on just like a glove. And there's like a snap on the end.
Okay.
And I stick my hand in the window and my grandma, who's a mouse, but like a big mouse, she has the other mitten. And so when she snaps my mitten, I'm safe. Mm-hmm. And so that's how she gets me in there. And then I'm like searching for my shoes while all the bad guys are like trying to like get me.
Okay.
And then that's as far as I can remember. And sometimes if I like wake up and then I can go back to it and then I can get out and try and run away. Oh, but my brother's there as a little baby. And so I'm trying to like protect him and save him. And while my grandma's like trying to get them like, oh no, they're not here, while holding her hand behind her back like with the snap on my snap mitten while I'm trying to tie my shoes.
Huh.
Yeah. I've had that dream so many times. It is clear as day.
So I guess breaking it down, the only thing I really think of is like, is there been any time with like your dad's friends where you felt like uneasy and that's why you need to run away or whatever?
Not that I can think of before I've had, because I don't have any memories before this dream.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then otherwise, I don't know why if it's created or whatnot, but the only thing I can think of for something like that, like running away. I mean, also when you look up in dream interpretation, right?
Yeah.
It could be like something that's been trying to like a lesson that's been trying to reach you.
Yeah.
That you haven't faced.
Maybe.
Like, why are you running away from your problems? Why are you not facing the uncomfortable things, like, right?
What do I even begin to Google?
Well, if you're going to talk...
Like, what does my grandma as a mouse mean with a snap mitten that's knitted?
Symbolism of mouse. Symbolism of...
Like...
blank.
And it's a specific grandma.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
What's your relationship with said grandma?
Yeah.
Is it comforting or is it not? One thing you touched on, though, that I think is really interesting is the whole protection thing about your brother.
Yeah.
Because I've had many dreams of, like, my parents dying.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
And I go into survival mode. How am I going to take care of my sister? How are we going to be okay?
Yeah. I like daydream that.
Yeah.
Or I like go into panic mode. I'm like, oh my goodness, my mom didn't answer my text message. What do I have to do?
Well, the thing is, I don't go into panic mode. I just go into, like, mission. Head down, work hard.
Panic mode.
That's panic?
That would panic me. But it would be like, okay, what do I need to get done to make this happen?
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, sure. I mean, I think you have to look up the symbolism, right? Because a lot of people, with some reoccurring dreams, right? A specific person as a monster, for example.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with that person?
But it's weird because she wasn't a monster.
I know.
She was a safe place.
Wait, she was, but I mean, like, someone else. Like, if say, for example, you're molested by someone and then you dream of that person as, like, a dark creature trying to get you, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's when you know it's, like, it's a trauma response, right?
Definitely.
So,
Yeah, and so I was just like, because when I was thinking core memories, this is such a vivid memory that I was like, can it count as a core memory?
Most symbolism is centered on the idea of having the ability to accomplish anything in life regardless of your size.
That's so sweet. Because I was so little when I had that dream and I had to do so many things to get away from those bad guys. That's adorable.
Yeah. Of a mitten? Is that what your other thing is?
Yeah.
Or was it the mitten or the glove that was more influential?
Because it's a glove. But it's one of the gloves that, like, you can, like, pull the end down to make it so your fingers are loose. Mm-hmm. And then put it back.
5 meaning of mittens. Mittens are a symbolism of, like, comfort and togetherness. Whereas
that
gloves are alone, right?
Oh.
Gloves are, like, standalone. So it's almost like you were craving, like, a comfort of sorts, right? Like, if that mouse, like, you can accomplish anything. Knitting, I think, is very, like, a homemade touch.
Yeah.
And then mittens is, like, a togetherness kind of thing.
I don't know. It's weird. I think about it all the time.
It's really weird.
Because I've been trying to figure out what the heck it means.
Yeah.
And where it came from. And why it was so influential in my childhood. Like, I haven't had that dream in a really long time. Mm-hmm. But there was a while where I could, like... It was happening a lot. And then
we pay attention to reoccurring dreams, like, when they happen like that, though.
Yeah.
Because there is something, if you can break it down to enough points and pull something out of it, like, something's trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
Could be that. Like, I have the fear thing of, like, my parents dying and me having to take care of my sister.
Yeah.
But I have other, like, some creepy dreams where I have to run away from this person and, like, just a bunch of other, like, various stuff.
Yeah.
That's a nice term. Various stuff. You're welcome for that detailed description on my life.
Well, because I feel like half of it was I had just learned what reoccurring dreams were. So I was like, oh, I want to have a reoccurring dream. Oh, I've had this one twice. Let's make that my reoccurring dream. And so then I would, like, make it happen. I would, like, go to bed thinking about it and then dream it. Mm-hmm. Because I have weird controls over my dreams sometimes.
That's fun.
This is just turning into a dream episode.
I know.
But then also I don't remember enough around when I had that dream to, like, break it down any further. Yeah. I was quite little.
I don't know.
My mom will tell me. Maybe she'll listen and be like, oh, it was this.
There's nothing really informational in this episode.
It was basically us just talking, but I feel like that's okay because I feel like last week was kind of heavy.
Yeah, it was very hefty.
So, yeah. Do you have any other fun tidbits of information?
I have a lot written down here.
Yeah.
I was brainstorming core memories, and a lot of it was things that where I was like, left out, excluded, singled out, yada yada yada.
Yeah. Who
broke Michaela?
Yeah.
Comments like that. For wearing all black to school, being accused of being a bully, and then all of that I think then in turn manifested in a lot of like anger and a lot of like resentment. I'm like, well, screw this. I don't want to be here. Like,
yeah,
this tough bitch attitude kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm very much like comforted by it, or also the thought of like loss. Like, I've lost so many relatives, so I've just like gone through a release.
Right.
Right now, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is really teaching me patience. Everything in my life right now, I have been wondering. I'm like, the two questions I've been asking the most is like, who hurt you or who raised you? Because everyone I've encountered has been fuming. I've been so mad. And so like the universe is teaching me like, chill, take a deep breath. Don't get so mad that you get dizzy.
Yeah, literally. That's intense.
That's been a thing recently.
But that's also a mood.
Yeah. Some other, I guess, like, you know, basic core memories, and this thing, it could be favorite. A lot of lake time, or a lot of my trips, spending my 21st birthday in Poland. Like, that's a really cool memory of mine. Playing basketball until like 4 a.m. with one of my friends in Kelowna.
Oh, fun.
While talking about life.
Yeah.
The first person I can truly say I had like a crush on or whatnot, like that moment when we like locked eyes, like that was also a lot of like, it was just a very like, things that you reflect on quite a bit. But it wasn't anything like, I don't know if I would say that's core, because I wouldn't say that like influences how I go about in the world. It's just things that like, it's like, oh yeah, that was really sweet.
Yeah.
You know?
They were important memories. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I really liked painting rocks at the cabin.
Yeah.
I laugh at the fact that my friend, I took her to the cabin and she went to get out to get rocks and she cut her foot on a rock.
Oh, nice.
Like a true city girl.
Yep, 100%.
Bring her out to nature and she slices her foot open. And so like her hanging with her foot outside of the kayak while we're kayaking back to the cabin and her foot's just like dropping blood. And like, so that's like a funny memory and stuff. Things like that.
Yeah.
My panic attack before moving to Helsinki.
Oh yeah.
Like that was like a little like yeah. So like that's the thing, like half of them I think are core because they have like shaped who I am, and the other half are just like, oh, that was fun, that was cute.
Yeah.
You have anything final notes here for yours?
Not really. I covered all the ones that I like wanted to talk about. All the other ones were just like not like, yeah, well, if I say like they're really formative memories, but that's a core memory. But like there's this one time where we were being babysat, and my brother and his buddy, who was the brother of the girl who was babysitting us, so they would pretty much just all come over and be just like a giant play date. They wanted to go quadding, and I was like, yeah, sure, like if you guys think that's safe, like whatever. We weren't really sure what to do because there was no parents, so they wore their helmets and they were fine. And then when mom and dad got home, they were obviously livid, like fair enough. That's super dangerous. But they were really mad at me because they said that they told me that that was off limits. And to this day, they did not speak to me about that before they left. Huh. There was no, like, you're not allowed to do this at all, ever. Huh. And so they're, like, adamant that they did, and I'm adamant that they didn't, and we will never agree on it. But we got in so much trouble, and so then the whole next day, we spent moving dirt. And that was a very, very formative memory. And that's why I hate doing farm work. Because it was always associated with punishment.
A formative memory for me is my grandpa hiding Easter eggs in the llama's pen and me going, no way.
That's valid.
No, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, I sent my cousins there to get my eggs for me, and I went back and carried on.
Yep. Fair enough. Yeah.
It's very different than that, but yeah.
I don't know. I could talk about memories for like hours and hours and hours and hours, but here we are.
Yeah. So I feel like we need to wrap it up because we are at like an hour now.
Yeah. Okay.
Any final notes?
Nope.
No?
Not well, I think this one thing that I wanted to mention was like when you think of a core memory with a different like context or different feelings, like if you bring up like maybe a sad core memory in a time where you're feeling like happy or like calm or whatever, you can kind of like change the emotion around what you feel about it. And I noticed that with the Journ soda memory, because as soon as my mom like apologized and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't realize that affected you that much, it's become less of an important part of my life.
That's called exposure therapy, Journ.
No, it's not, Michaela.
Yeah.
No. It's called changing your
cognitive behavioral therapy. It's literally, that's the whole premise of therapy. And right before we filmed this episode, she just like talked about how she hated like exposure therapy and whatnot.
Well, yeah, because my version of exposure therapy is sitting in a room that I can't get out of with snakes slithering all around me. That's technically also exposure therapy, and it was terrifying.
Okay. No, because it's not therapeutic. That's a torture device.
Yes, 100%.
It's, you have to ease into things like that, right? And so I guess maybe that's more cognitive behavioral, but it's the whole premise of a lot of therapy is like changing your perceptions around an event.
Yeah.
Everything is perception, and perception is malleable, and that's why nothing in life is real, and that's what sends me into a spiral sometimes when I think about it too hard.
100%.
Yeah. But no, yeah, you can shift it because like memory is malleable, and every time it goes through, it engraves deeper. It engraves deeper into your brain. Yeah. The ridges get deeper, and so that's the memory is because you're activating it, but it has more time to slip up the more you recall it. Yeah. And so things that you can bring things back with it, you can associate things. That's why things get combined and jumbled, and your brain is actively trying to to forget things. Yeah. And so sometimes it just will combine things just to save space, so to speak.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. We're going to do a quick little segment. Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't take too long.
We could just do a couple
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
So basically we're going to do this like
word association game.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know if there's an actual term for it or not.
Yeah, I think fun. Got any fun names?
We were just going to do a random word generator.
No. For this segment.
Oh. I'll call this random word generator.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, actually, because basically we just come up with random words.
Yeah, basically the whole premise of it is that I have a random word generator on my phone right now. And it's going to give us a word, and we have to both say something that relates to that word. Yeah. And find a connection until we say the same word. Yeah. Right?
So we have to find the connection between the words that we say then after, and then kind of just staircase down it.
Until we say the same word. Yep. So we'll see how this goes.
And I'm really bad at these kind of games because I'll wait until you say something and then I'll say the word.
Okay. Let's not do that. All right. So generate dressing is the word. Okay. 3, 2, 1, salad. Okay, that was easy.
We're really good at this game.
All right. Next word, black.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, coffee.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1, cafe.
Brown. I don't know if coffee and cats can both be brown.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, espresso.
Latte. Oh, close.
Close. Okay.
3, 2, 1,
milk.
coffee.
You can't say it again. Didn't you say coffee already?
You can't say it again?
No.
I said cafe and I said coffee at first.
Yeah, you have to pick a different word.
Oh. Okay, so where are we at? Espresso and latte?
Yeah.
You can't say milk now, though.
I know, I can.
3, 2, 1, art.
Oh. I was going latte art.
Okay. Right.
Learn to find a similarity between work and art.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, artist.
Sarah?
Oh god, now a person.
Uh-oh.
3, 2, 1, movies.
Talented? Oh.
Because she's working on movies.
Oh, but she's incredibly talented. Uh-oh.
3, 2, 1.
Director?
Actor. was gonna say something like that. Actor.
Oh crap! I don't think we're getting anywhere close.
Okay. Actor and director. 3, 2, 1. Hollywood.
Producer. We started off so strong. I don't know. I'm running out of words.
Hollywood and producer.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Los
Studio.
Angeles. Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Culver City.
What?
Culver City. There's a lot of studios for production in Culver City.
I didn't know that was a
in
real
Los
place.
Angeles. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
can we have a different word? I'm giving up on this one.
Okay, we'll do one more. Advice.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Friends.
I panicked.
Okay.
Because panic came to my mind.
Okay, so panic. Friends and panic.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Podcast. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Sometimes Ciabatta slaps.
And that's how we're ending it.
Thanks for tuning in to Core Memories. I'm Mac.
I'm Jubes.
We are Sometimes Ciabatta slaps.
Thanks for watching.
And if you made it this far, be sure to give us a like, a comment, a review. We love the support.
We love it.
And let us know if there's any topics you want to hear.
Yes.
This one is a little bit... And which type of episode? I want to know because our last one was very informational.
Yeah.
And this one is very personal.
Yeah.
Is there a preference? Is the mix good?
Yeah. What are you feeling?
Yeah.
What would you like?
I guess not the last one because I guess we'll have Alexa's in between. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of Alexa's as the last one. Because I guess we've had a couple kind of heavy ones.
Well, that was really personal though. I'm thinking more like, do you like our sad episode or do you like this episode more?
Yeah.
One
like
that's a more
educational versus like chatty.
Pondering life. I don't know. We'll probably end up doing a mix anyways, but let us know what you like better.
Yeah.
For fun.
Exactly. And ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now. TTFN.
Bye.